Hey, Tamira Hamilton here again. And I'm just going to talk real quickly for a little bit about the side hustle. And pretty much everybody needs one in 2018. In fact, 2018 is being called the year of the side hustle. So if you are watching this live, please throw up a 1 in the comments and let me know where you're watching from, city and state. I'd love to give you a shout out. I'm going to go ahead and get this shared in some groups where I know they would love this information. Please feel free to share it as well. Safe is the new risky. A lot of people think that their jobs are safe, and if you are one of those, we are going to talk about that tonight. So let me go ahead and get this shared. If you know anybody who, hey, Lisa Webb from Chicago, if you know anybody who would benefit from this, please share. I'm going to go ahead and get it shared myself in a couple places so we can get some more people on here watching. Okay, so safe is the new risky. Tammy Beebe from Branson, Missouri. We've got Lisa Morgan Ross watching. So come on in. Tell me where you are viewing from. I'd love to give you a shout out. You never know. I'm always traveling. I might be in your city soon. I'll be in San Diego the end of the month. Always looking to meet people. So come on in. Make sure you share this out. We're going to talk about safe is the new risky, how everybody thinks that having a home-based business is so risky and where the real risk actually lies in 2018. So come on in, drop your city and state, let us know where you are from. If you see somebody from your city, say hi to them. If you see somebody from a city you visited or you love, let them know as well. Facebook is always cracking me up trying to tag different people. It's me. You're supposed to be able to know it's me. So tonight we're going to talk real quickly. I don't want to keep you long. I normally actually don't even do 2 lives in one day. Christina from Rapid City, I will be there in June, boo. I can't wait. I so cannot wait. South Dakota was like one of the highlights of my 2017. So very good, very good, very good. So come on in. I want to make sure you can hear me and see me okay. And sounds like everybody can because I'm seeing people drop where they are viewing from. So come on in. Don't be shy. Let everybody know where you are viewing from. We've got Donald Scruton in Port St. Lucie, Florida with his girlfriend, Cynthia Ricker. Hello to you both. Just want to talk about and help people understand what's really going on in this world. My name is Tamira Hamilton. I am a beauty blogger and I blog about the business of beauty in case you didn't know. Please be sure to click, I don't know where it is these days. It might be in the upper right hand corner or it might be down by the share button so that you can get notifications when I go live. I'm going to be talking more and more about this stuff. Most people know me for coming on live and doing makeup more recently, but I used to come on and talk about this stuff all the time, and I used to talk about marketing and business trends and that, and I just kind of stopped, and I really need to get back into it, so that is what I'm doing. Hello, Michelle Solamini from North Reading, Massachusetts. Hello. I am here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where spring just does not want to show up. It just seriously does not want to show up. It's like cold and I've got on hoodies and I'm just over it. I'm so over it. It's way too cold for me. So anywho, let's talk about some trends that you need to be aware of. Okay, so there are employers who are moving more toward you working from home so that you're so good and sincere. Thank you, Donald. Hey, April. There are employers that are moving towards people working from home. However, I'm going to be honest with you. Thanks, Angie. Thanks, ADFK. Hey, girl. Hey, Tammy from Green Bay. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's weird that an employer wants you to work from home and use your own computer. You know, this whole, corporations offering you the ability to work from home, but you got to use your own computer and you're still kind of like their employee is really weird. Now, if you're a 1099, that's a different story. But if you're an actual employee, they should be providing, and I don't want them having access to my personal computer. So there is that happening. There's an overall trend overall of companies trying to reduce their overhead and their expense by allowing you to work from home. And what's happening within that trend itself is the ability to work from home, but you have to use your own computer. That's so weird, right? I mean, I guess if that's what you think you have to do, that's what you have to do. I get it. Everybody's got to eat, right? So there is that trend, but more and more the traditional job as you know it is going to be disappearing, and we're already starting to see signs of that. So the question is, what are you going to do in its place? Because like I just said, you got to eat. And, you know, back in history, that's what people used to do. They used to farm their own land. They used to, you know, make and sell, make goods and then take them to the marketplace and sell them. And I'm here to tell you, we are back to that as a society, and most people just don't know it yet. Okay. I'm not saying that jobs in corporations are going to go away altogether, but those jobs, it's going to be a lot more competitive to get it, you know, race to get those jobs as well as to keep them, which means if you're somebody like me who does not like office place politics, it's going to become more and more difficult over the years for you to work in corporate America in the traditional job force, because it's going to become much more highly politicized. And what happens in those cases is people tend to work just enough to not get fired, but you don't want to do too much, because when you do too much, when you perform too well in a highly political environment, what happens is you now have a big old X on your back and people are out to get you. And I personally do not thrive well in that kind of environment. So all of the experts, all the business journals, including Entrepreneur, Forbes, and Inc., are calling 2018 the year of the side hustle. First of all, the number one reason you want to look at having some sort of side hustle is fulfillment. Most people do not get fulfillment on their job, and you can't tell me that they do when you see all these memes about Mondays and bosses be like, okay? So we know that most people do not truly enjoy their getting up and going to work every day for a job that they don't, or even more so, in a lot of cases, a boss that they cannot stand. And hey, like I said, I get it. You got to eat, especially when you have children. Totally understand that. But here's the deal. And I'm going to explain to you also why I choose to partner with a makeup company versus try to start my own makeup line. Number one, it's very expensive to do so. You got to pay for research and development. You got to have all kinds of insurance and lawyers and branding and that. And it's very expensive to do so. And it can take you years to get to market. So, you know, there are other trends you're starting to see within that. But for me, I liked the idea of a turnkey solution, something very similar to a franchise. And that's what I have. I bought a business in a box. I did not have to be a makeup artist. Contrary to popular belief, I am not a makeup artist. I don't really do makeup for hire. I make some exceptions, but that is not my trade. That is not my background. I never went to school for cosmetology and studied cosmetology, okay? So you do not have to be a makeup artist, and there are multiple businesses in a box that you can get from this one company, which, by the way, has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You've got financial stability of over 90 quarters of consecutive growth. The balance sheet is rock solid, no debt, 25 years in business, okay? So that's what I chose to do for my side hustle versus I'm not really a manual labor type person. Yes, I make the custom blends, but it is not the bulk of my business. Hey sis, it is not the bulk of my business because I wanted something that I can do what I do best, and that is strategize, you know, do marketing, meet people and talk to people, and then everything is drop shipped. I don't have to keep an inventory. I don't have to do, you know, stocking of shelves or any of that. Or in the post office, I literally live right around the corner from the post office, but I'm horrible at mailing stuff. horrible at mailing stuff. So I didn't want to have to deal with those things. And that is exactly what the company does for me. They drop ship. I do not have to keep an inventory. A lot of people, when they hear what I do, they have visions of what went on back in the 70s when maybe their parents or grandparents were involved in different organizations and they had to keep these inventories and go drive around and do deliveries. If we had to do that, I would not be in business, because I'm telling you, I just don't do well with that kind of stuff. I hated when it was Girl Scout cookie sales time and all of that. So drop shipping, they do the order online. You can even place the order online for them, and then the product is shipped to them. So that is a huge, huge bonus. I also don't have to pay for the e-commerce technology. So a lot of people talk about wanting to have their own makeup line, but what they forget about is security. There have been online makeup companies, those Instagram makeup brands, that have had major breaches of people's information like social security numbers, or more so credit card numbers and things like that. And there are lawsuits up the yin yang about that. And so that's one of the reasons I am not really interested in having my own makeup line. You know, one of the big things right now is chunky glitter. Okay, so what happens when a chunk cuts out somebody's eye or scratches up somebody's eye? You have to have insurance for that. I don't really have to deal with that. You know, you can get into a whole legal thing about it, but yeah, for the most part, you don't really have to deal with that. You can get like a little errors and omissions policy and you should be good. Other than that, everything else is really, you know, you're indemnified in a lot of different ways. So that is a number of reasons why I chose not to do a makeup company and partner with a company that can take care of all of those things for me, because that's the number one concern people have with starting a side hustle, is the logistical stuff, right? They're worried about, oh, I got to keep an inventory, I got to make things, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that. Well, so much of it is done for you. You're literally buying a system and you do not have to worry about those things. It does not take a huge team to build. Is very easy to get on social media, be your personable self, and add value to people. And before you know it, people will be asking you about joining your team. You also know people who need probably $300 a month. I was on the phone with a few people today, and you know, they reached out to me and they wanted to know more, and I said, well, how much money are you looking to make? What would make a difference in you and your family's life? And they're like, you know, well, you know, the kids are in activities and it's becoming more expensive, and you know, they're high maintenance. I'm like, trust me, I know, especially my oldest daughter, really high maintenance. I get it. So, you know, I said, so would $300 make a difference? And she's like, yeah, that would make a difference. And I heard that time and time again. Okay. Yes, they provide a website for you for this business. That's the other thing you do not have to worry about. I have my blog, but that's on top of, because that's what I do. I'm a blogger. Okay. So, you know, $300 a month, it does not take a team of like 30,000 people to make $300 a month. It really doesn't, okay? And you can make money 3 different ways. You can make money by buying low and selling high. That's called retailing. You can also earn cash back on your everyday purchases. Hello. Who wouldn't? I mean, if you're spending money in today's society and you're not getting paid cash back, you really need to reach out to me, because you should be getting paid back on just about everything that you spend on. Okay, that's definitely it. Now, I'm going to tell you, the biggest way to make money with this compensation plan is by teaching other people to do exactly what I've talked about so far. How to spend money that they're spending anyway, how to switch over to items that they are already buying, but now from this company, and teaching other people to do that. And then you can earn a commission from building a team. Now, there are no recruiting bonuses, and this is what I actually love most about the plan. There are no recruiting bonuses. You want to get paid on people, so to speak. You get paid for actually helping people succeed. So you're not really getting paid on people, you're just getting a return on the time that you've spent with people and helping them be successful. I'm going to say that again. You're not getting paid upfront for bringing people into the organization. You're actually getting paid for bringing people into the organization, walking side by side with them, holding their hand to a certain degree, because I'm not a real big hand holder, but giving them guidance, coaching and mentoring and guiding them. And when you do that and they become successful, you're getting a return on your money by way of compensation by doing that, okay? And we share 100% of the volume, so it makes sense, okay? So versus in your regular corporate structure where everybody is competing, now everybody is working together, okay? Where that, the purchases are come into play. Those little bitty purchases on your own don't cut you a commission check. But when you're building a team, everybody's little purchases adds up and everybody can get paid, okay? So it really truly is about community, which is when, again, if you look back in history, that's how things were. It was about community, people pulling together and doing things. There were some things where people were self-sufficient. So this family might be really strong and have this family might have that. And then people would trade, barter, and buy from each other that way. Okay. So, for $3.99, you can have your very own side hustle. It's plug and play. You literally get a business in a box, and now you don't have to worry about the layoffs. You don't have to worry about the downsizing. You don't have to worry about, okay, so I got to be the one that they keep, but guess what? Now I'm doing the job of 3 people, and by the way, they might have even given you a pay cut. Okay, so it's a lot easier to walk into work and have a lot less anxiety and hate Sundays a lot less when you have a plan that you are working toward to free yourself in 2 to 3 years. You can literally create a 6-figure income in 2 to 3 years if you 100% commit to a proven plan. Put your blinders on and just follow the plan. You can create a 6-figure income. There's somebody on this actual live right now who creates sustainable income, and I believe is a single mom and supports her family just from our custom blend product alone. She just waved her hand. Okay. So again, it's very powerful to be able to give yourself options and not have to wait until somebody gives you the scissors, snips you from an organization, or like I said, piles on more work and not more paycheck. That sucks. I know people who get left in that situation. I've always been happy to be the one to be downsized and not be the one left dealing with everybody's work that they left behind. And sometimes you might get a little bit of pay cut, and some you might not. I've talked to several friends in the last few weeks. One does not even know what's going on with her position, and she keeps asking. She keeps asking, what's going on with my position? Are you going to take me back to full time? Are you going to give me the money that you owe me? And she's getting the runaround. Another was basically offered a position. Yay. No, they didn't get any additional money. And they were basically told, if you don't take the position in 6 months, you won't have a job. And now that was a nice employer that liked her because they actually told her. They didn't wait until 6 months from now and say, yeah, remember when we offered you that position, you didn't take it? Well, you should have took it because now you don't have a job, right? These are real life situations. And I see it happen over and over and over again. And I'm going to tell you something. And I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. You may be watching this live and you probably think, oh, whatever, blah, 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 blah. There's Tamira just yapping again, right? Okay, so you may think that. And here's what I'm going to tell you. The people that think that, usually what happens within 6 months to 12 months, they're reaching out to me because they are in one of the situations I just described. And the best time to build this is right now, when you don't need it. It was like when I worked in banking, okay? People would come in and they would want a home equity loan, and you could smell the desperation. They needed it. And guess what? When that desperation has set in and they need it, it's too late. They needed to get the home equity line of credit 6 months, 12 months, 18 months before that when they didn't need it, and have it for the time that they needed it. And this is very similar, if not the exact same or even more critical, that you build this now when you don't need it, okay? Because when you need it, it usually is too late, okay? So I want you to just really do like I did, even though, because I told a story last week, I think, of how when the opportunity to sit down and hear about the opportunity came up, I couldn't be any more redundant right there, I know. How I was like, I'm not doing that, I know I'm not doing that, and by the end of it, I had changed my mind. But I was one of those people, I was like, I'm not doing that. But something just told me to be open. And I was at a time in my life where I was just more open than, and even though I'm saying I didn't want to see it, I was just still more open. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to go. I'm going to be nice. Where if you know anything about me, that's me being open. Because me prior to that, like I always tell the girl, if you'd asked me a year before that, I would have flat out told you no, and don't ever talk to me about that again. Okay. So that's me being open. And so check this out. I'm building and I'm not desperate. So when I say I want you to think about this, it's me displaying my passion and compassion for you as an individual. Please don't mistake that for desperation, because I have a team and I have people reaching out to me daily about joining my team. So please don't mistake me coming on here and having this discussion with you to be that I'm desperate, because I'm far from it. Okay. If anything, I hate to sound this way, but be grateful that I'm even telling you about it, because I care enough to be bringing it up in a public forum on Facebook and explaining to you the dangers that are out there, because I get it. I was raised to think that education was the key. I was a good little girl and I did everything that I was supposed to do. I got straight A's. I got good grades. I was on, on the college prep track all the way from middle school to high school and in AP classes, and started college with credits. And I graduated undergraduate degree and got a job, hated it, got another job, hated it, tried to actually own a business. It sucked, and so I went back, got a job, actually kind of liked it, and actually really found what my passion is, and that's helping and developing people. Only I hated the politics. I hated my boss and her boss, okay? And so here we are. So I get it. You probably think, oh, you're too good for that. You didn't, get your education and your college degree in that, to be doing this kind of thing. But I'm here to tell you, it's the future. The jobs of the future are going to look, and they're not actually going to even look like job. We really shouldn't even use that word. The way you take care of your family in the future is going to look very different than it has looked in recent times. It's going to be a mix of incomes and making money by doing different things. And a lot of it's going to be driven by e-commerce, m-commerce, and online. And you're not going to have the money for the infrastructure. So you need to be looking at something like what I am doing. So I just wanted to come on here and, just give my little spiel on what's happening in the world right now. And just, like I said, from my heart to yours, you can take it with it and do what you want to do with it. That's entirely up to you. It may be for you, it may not be for you, but if it is, you know where to find me, okay? So that's what I had. If someone shared this with you, make sure you get back with them as well, but you definitely need to be looking at some sort of side hustle. If not this, then you gotta figure it out, but you're going to need multiple streams of income. You cannot keep working yourself for a company that will replace you next week if you die tomorrow, okay? So you guys have a great night, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.